What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome back to another edition of our Monday night online open mic, aka the stay-at-home open mic. Uh, my name is Richie. I'm the project director of Barbed Open Mic Series, and we're based out of El Paso, Texas. But because this show is online and through the magic of technology, we're able to connect and communicate and create and collaborate with people from all over the world. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We've been doing this since April of 2020, nonstop every Monday. And so in that time, we've had lots of awesome performers take the stage. That includes tonight's show. Just like any other open mic, this is a platform to support the work of the artists who share their work on screen. So as always, I encourage performers to share their social media, their link tree, any special links to purchase their books or merchandise, any of that great stuff. And if you guys are watching live, I always definitely encourage you guys to hang out with us in the live chat, leave comments. I think that's super fun. Unlike a show in person where there's a stage in the live audience, um, this is more intangible. We don't know who's watching, so it's kind of cool to see who's watching, tuning in live with us, leaving comments we can respond to. Share this out in the world. There's a share button. Share it with your friends, people who love writing, who love expression, who love prose, songwriting, all that stuff. We're here every Monday, and so if you ever think you want to join, this is easy, right? Just follow us online, Barbed Bar Open Mic Series. A couple more things. Other than online, we do have in-person shows. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we are going to be at Mona Bar downtown. That's Tuesday, November 26th. So if you guys are in the El Paso area, come check us out. Mona Bar is open to any kind of performance art. We would love to have you. Sign up starts at 8 p.m. Show starts at 9. It is a late show. But if you do want to perform early, it's a good idea to be there early because it does fill up pretty quickly. This Friday, we also have our show at Craft Rhythm and Brews. It is a brewery on 1301 Texas Street, and that is Grizz Presents. This month, we are hosting a special holiday edition open mic and writing session. Grizz, who usually can't make it Mondays because they have to wake up super early to host the morning radio show, wants to use that night as an opportunity. If you are a transplant or if you don't have any family or anywhere to go for Thanksgiving or the holidays, hang out with us on Friday. Let's do a little bit of writing and then share it. So it should be a little chill, low key thing. Um, or come meet us. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic over, the baton over to Kit, who will be our special host tonight and talk about what this poetry potluck is all about. So without further ado, Kit, take it away.
Thank you as always, Richie. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and seeing us. Uh, New computer, just figuring out the angles, figuring out quality, things like that. But yes, welcome everyone to the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, our stay-at-home open mic that we've been having every Monday for quite a while. And this week, a tradition's developed over the 5 years of doing this on every Thanksgiving. We call it the Poetry Potluck, where we all take turns reading each other's work. By now, a lot of you are familiar with the cover poem. And while I'm definitely the propagator of that, I'm the one who's pushed that onto other people and love to see it blossom. But the whole credit for it goes to my mother, Robin Schofield, who most of you know. When I saw her read in San Antonio in 2013, and as she took the mic, she did From Memory When You Were Old by William Butler Yeats. Really sort of set the stage for herself, communing with the dead that way. And the whole point of the Poetry Potluck is, what if the people we were reading aren't dead or aren't famous? What if we read each other's works? What if we find something new that way? And so I'm going to read 3 pieces. And the first is Solar Power by Robin Schofield from her award-winning collection, Flow, which won the 2018 Southwest Book Award from the Border Regional Library Association. Trust librarians, support librarians. Solar Power by Robin Schofield. Due to the permanent marring of her tomorrows, a Russian astrologer is suing the United States for $300 million for ruining the natural order of things by NASA's firing a probe named Deep Impact into Comet Temple 1 to see what kind of stuff its ice and dust might be, altering its course, thus sending this woman's horoscope wheeling out of whack. And she demands it back, her Ptolemaic universe and Toto and the Bucks to ease the agony of its loss. This umbrella of gravity can fold around her ears for all she cares, so long as no stray rocks slice through her chart, which once upon a time was set in stone. In her land of snow, a comet did blast a forest and lay its sperm in a seam of fire and ice. It didn't trouble the heavens then. Now the moon just barely holds the waters back. And of course, doing this myself, we've met all sorts of wonderful local people through doing this mic, and one who's become a really good friend is my birthday twin. You all know Lee Martinez Soto, how great they are. So this is Possessed by Lee Martinez Soto in their collection, Para los Locos. Lee MS, possibly available through Amazon. My copy signed. I don't really care what happens to you, but I hope Lee gets some money. I'm just going to read the English. I'll find you again in the middle of the night. I'll see your shadow on my walls, haunting my unease. I'll see you, perhaps, stretching from the corner of my eyes, and you'll descend over me when the sunlight entering through my window blinds me. I'll find you again with your claws around my throat, rummaging through my vocal cords in search for a moan, a howl, or a whimper. I'll find you again. I'll know it when I run out of words, when I run out of will to do anything, when feeling just causes grief, or when the thought of eternal rest crosses my mind. And you always come back, tiptoeing towards me between breaths, and I do not notice until I find myself trapped in my bed, almost dead, almost alive, in a middle stage where there's a will, but it's lacking. I'm a product of possessions, and every time that I find you suffocating, hurting in senses, I shed skin and bones and turn little by little into ghosts of you. I know I will find you again because sometimes I miss you. Because there's days where you give me more than you take, and because I've spent so much time underneath the skin that it's so difficult to exercise you without you taking parts of me. I'll find you again. Of that, I'm sure. Again, that was Possession by Lee Martinez Soto. Remember the name? And the craziest and the most expansive and the most unique thing to this period of American life is that when we took this on YouTube, we didn't really see a wide audience, but we have found people from all over the country. We found people from other countries. And so we have a national network of people that get together like this every week. And so I'm going to read from one of our diaspora. We're going to read They Have Landed by Ed Poetastic out of Washington, D.C. Not going to do the falsetto. I'm not going to do the falsetto. I have some pipes to protect. To the American people, the aliens have landed. They look advanced and evil. Oh my God, they look heavy-handed. They quickly came down. UFOs covered the skies. They are not making any sounds. Oh my God, the darkness in their eyes. They look skinny and frail. They want to meet our leader. Say more, but I'm eating Taco Bell. Oh my God. Did I pay the meter? They seem to be doing the moonwalk. They have some stellar moves. Oh my God, they can understand us and talk. Well, I hope our bond can improve. It appears a guy is moving towards them. Oh my, he has a Confederate flag. Oh my God, he looks American and dim. Let us pray that he doesn't brag. He said, "We don't like your kind here." Oh my God, the gray alien has readied his blaster. Oh my God, man, cover your rear. Ooh, it looks like a huge disaster. I know what you're thinking. I'm not doing a fucking thing. My patience is shrinking, and the gray alien's temper is held by a string. The gray alien blasts into the sky. Did Jim Bob run and hide? I felt like I almost died. What a crazy, unbelievable ride. And out of the sky came Godzilla. Now he's breathing and stomping about. Why, could it be Gilla the gorilla? Oh no, everybody screams and shouts. Everybody is panicking. Oh boy, what could go wrong, right? Oh, King Kong, also known as the Monkey King. He looked cranky and strong. Now there seems to be a man with a billboard. It reads Kong versus Godzilla. Place your bets. Oh my God, people are coming in herds. Hey, 30 on Kong. Everything here, including my vest. This is something unrelated, but send cash to my Cash App. My life is in danger just like you. Come on, show some love. Where's it at? I want to order something from Jamba Juice. I know I should be scared, but who doesn't want to get rich? Screw the gecko, go Kong. Make that giant gecko your bitch. Yeah. Here comes the gong. Godzilla rushes to Kong. Why didn't I buy popcorn? Well, they don't serve popcorn at Taco Bell. Come on, you big ape. Don't take too long. You're not paid by the hour. Siri, I said to make popcorn, not porn. King Kong swings Godzilla around, literally by his scaly tail. It's like one big freakish merry-go-round. In straight to tail. Kong aims for the electric rails. Godzilla's getting angry. Oh my God, smoke is coming from his mouth. Oh my God, here comes the atomic bomb. It looks like me eating a plate of Brussels sprouts. Godzilla is breathing out a huge beam. He misses King Kong by a hair. I knew it was just steam, but Godzilla, that's cheating and unfair. Hey, what are they staring at? Billboards for donuts and burritos. Don't just stand there and look at that. They start fighting. Oh my God, I'm gonna explode. Oh. Oh my God. Godzilla is giving me the finger. I need a giant robot ASAP. You big, green, cold-blooded stick. I can't believe I saw that. Now they're holding hands. They're probably getting something to eat. I don't really understand what happened to the brawl and the heat. Don't go away. I bet everything on you. You're going to take my vest. I pray on this day. I hope my credit doesn't go higher than the moon. What happened to the gray aliens? It's a sign that says, Earthling, we owe you. God. So much chaos has transcended. What are we possibly going to do? A little different, huh? So yeah, that's just an example of the kind of the people we have on this mic, and they'll be doing selections from other people on this mic. You're not required to. We're not a cult. You don't have to follow our rules. But this is just a fun little tradition we've developed, and we're happy to see it in action for another year. And so we're going to officially kick off the mic now. And our first performer, well, it says here that she won the Southwest Book Award for her collection Flow in 2018. Well, isn't that nice? So coming to us from just down the hall that way is Robin Schofield. So Robin, take it away when you're ready.
Thank you, Kit. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody's doing some cooking and stuff already. And this is a little awkward maybe, but I'm going to share a poem by my son, Christopher Kit Wren. It's called Family, and it's a poem about me, so it's a little vain of me, I guess. Family Business, Part 1. My mother wants to share in the pride of our neighbor, but feels compelled to make small amendments. It's a fine tree, she says, but it's not a mesquite. Mesquites don't flower, and do you see these thorns? Your excellent mesquite is in even better acacia. It occurs to me that this is that thing that I am asked to produce on demand, like a photo ID, a practical use for poetry, to correct affections without changing their vectors. Our love, like a contract, must be drawn with care and in terms as specific as possible. I am proud to call this the family business, an ancient, noble, and essential trade, to mark the place of the thorns and buds, to map the trails of the wandering shadows, and to match prisms to their suited lights. Okay, that's a nice poem. Oh, and I meant to say, Kit, that was a good rendition of Solar Power. That was great. And now I'm going to read a poem that really fascinates me by a friend of mine who's been to BWOMS in person one time. She was in El Paso. So this is called Remix, The Paper Brigade, and it's by my friend Liskin Van Pelt Deuce. And I want to read it because it's got this incredible rhythm to it. What she did was she took a transcript of a 60-minute special and plugged it into this website and did a text mixing thing. I think the website is called the Lazarus Project or something like that. So anyway, this is called Remix, The Paper Brigade. The horrors of the Holocaust. Well, first there's this epigraph from 60 Minutes. The horrors of the Holocaust were met with various forms of resistance. A resistance group nicknamed the Paper Brigade in what is now Vilnius, Lithuania's capital, risked death, smuggling artwork, books, and rare manuscripts, hiding them in underground bunkers. And that was on in 2022. So this is her remix. Gun of totalitarianism. Bounty, but of totalitarianism. Evil filled in. So to the ghetto. The ghetto had other ideas. Dug up the survive out of the brutal looting. Dug up the survive. This culture, these boxes, materials the ghetto. Years it encompassed. This is the absence that could never emerge from hiding. They set aside the scooped empty heroes, homemade wheelbarrow and shovels, the building organ, the church now tunnel. Anything in, saved, anything needed for kindling, Baroque arches, wiped out country, dusty iron knocked down, the rubble a manuscript. Deliverer upon faded, saved, collection of works rescued and lives of beauty walking, book palace and absence that could never rubble, erasure knocked down, became human of the burnt contraband. Surviving pages insisted books had blood, vanished book, the war. The other ideas, floor to the gun, rooms upon rooms. Paper could never, wasn't bounty. Bellows, the war, wiped out nexus of poetry, what you're not allowed. You weren't taught books, no, no. Picture those Jews encompassed, amplified by Chagall, insisting feet down, assessing, and prescient, their hiding places, fearing the so says who, heard whispers, documents were killed. The evil is full, the it encompassed. Yiddish voices the unexplored absence that stains. This unexplored book absence out of the burnt readers, contraband community. These are the surviving pages. Homemade diapers, sewn Nazi, sewn Red Army, the us there, awaiting renovation. Who we have, the scooped fragments. So, yeah, she has a book coming out, if you're interested. And I want to read one more by another friend of mine who, this is out of her first book. And she started me on a poetry journey in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And her name is Jennifer Clement. And this little poem is about her friend, Suzanne, the widow of Jean Basquiat. My young widow. Suzanne lives only in corners, cloaked in her fat black cloth. She smells of convent walls. She has a Rembrandt pallor, spook eyes, and smiles, the secret half smiles of nuns. On spider quiet evenings, Suzanne's breath is filled with candles as her magic lantern eyes seek him still. And in her hummingbird voice, voice of a sleepwalker, she calls to her lost husband. There are no teeth inside her words. So that's my my little pieces for tonight. And thank you all for doing my poems.
Right. Thank you, Robin. So that's a fun thing about BWOMS is we're 1 degree of separation from Penn President Emeritus Jennifer Clement. So think about that. Everyone comes together at the open mic, high and low. And we have someone, our next performer out of South Euclid, Ohio, has a high state of office as the poet laureate of that self-same city, and for the entirety of Cuyahoga County too. So if the Guardians or Browns ever get off their butts and win something we're talking about, they'll have to call him to commemorate it. But everyone, please welcome to the stage Doc Janning. Doc, when you're ready.
Thank you. My poem, well, one of my poems for tonight was supplied by none other than Robin Schofield, their maternal unit. And its title is Stable Chaos in Poetic Systems. Little blues shudder across, sorry, let me start again. Little blues shudder across borders of sun-rayed desert marigold, butterflies whose wings are not one hair's breadth thick. To think they're doppelgangers in the canyon fan a committee toward a Central American revolution, steer the ocean's weight and lift the whirling clouds. When I turn down a dinner invitation, is it a hunch or a wing that stays me? While buds rain down in El Paso, snow sweeps the high mesa into Santiago. Who calls me drunk, doubting his authority? House weather, snowstorm without respite in a cabin warmed by wood stove. The birds know to come south. Why not you, my friend, in your red pickup truck? We have hot water at a touch, though not all our neighbors do. I'll give you winter fruit, lend my down blanket stuffed with cause and effect. I was afraid we had lost something. My breath over the phone swings the snow off pine needles outside the stoked cabin where Santiago's huddled. His lens and my lens stretch out of differences in initial conditions. Snow on pine out of one eye. Little blues on yellow blooms out of the other. What lemon-aired countries they cross. White-tailed doves curl paws around the electric line, in on the call. And then for my second poem, I've read this before, but I read it tonight to our city council, and I got many positive remarks. The title is I Sing Kaddish for America. I sing Kaddish for America, not just for we who are Jews, but for those of all faiths, all belief systems, who have dared dream the dream in this troubled land. A dream of love and inclusion for all, of fact over opinion and alt-fact, of science over denials, of equality, not privilege, of love and compassion over fear, of no more bias, bigotry, and misogyny, of calm discussion over empty rhetoric. A dream of liberty and justice for all, of representatives who actually represent the people who elect them, of no more gerrymandering, of no more bureaucrats unqualified for their positions, of no more freely available weapons of war on our streets, of no one going hungry, of everyone having adequate housing and medical care, of everyone having bodily autonomy, of everyone being well educated and capable of critical thinking. I sing Kaddish for America, land of lost dreams, our 50 stars gone dim, our sweet land of liberty gone sour. I sing Kaddish for America. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Any upcoming events that you want to plug in this space?
Well, the only thing I can really tell you is about our local events. Tomorrow I read for our county council, and then this coming Sunday I read for 2 citywide events. For one for our Humane Society, the other one for the city itself. And and This evening, I was asked to contribute 2 poems to our city's quarterly magazine for their next edition. So I've got my work cut out for me.
Hey, does sound like a full plate. Well, we trust you to handle it. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving. Okay. Yes, thanks again for joining us here at the Poetry Potluck for the Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. And we're going to continue along the Rust Belt. I think I'm right. Well, we'll continue along the AFC North because sports informs my geography better. And go from South Euclid, Ohio to Pittsburgh. And that is where a friend of ours who first came to us in early 2021 and has still made this their home base as far as online readings go. And we're very happy to have them. They've had plays put on, and they've done all sorts of things. And we're very happy to once again welcome Thea Larkin to the stage when you're ready.
Hi, Kit. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do 3 pieces today, so we'll just go through them one at a time. This first piece is by Kit Wren, and it is called The Reformation. The comedians have renounced raunch and transphobia and hatred in general. They have seen their folly, they tell me. They credit me for their Damascene moment. They line up and say sorry and thank you as if it is all one word, a chant for newly shaved Hare Krishnas. They have set up this event, the first of its kind, post-pandemic, to prove their sincerity to me. One approaches the mic, and then another. They are all reading aloud from the same worn copy of Capitalism and Schizophrenia by Gilles Deleuze. They pass the one copy between themselves as they all take their turn, going for exactly 7 minutes each. It has a used tag from a college bookstore, University of Vermont. Charlie the catamount is just barely smiling at me from the crinkled sticker on the spine. Their faces, as they perform, are intense. And as the others sit and watch, they are rapt. One is taking notes. My companion and I retreat to the patio, and by his leave, I smoke my first cigarette in 2 years. One by one, the comedians follow me out, eager and pleading like seminary students. Is this better? Are we better, Kit? Have we made up for our sins and wayward lives? The truth is, I don't know. The truth is, I thought that I would always have to fight the comedians for saying one awful thing or another. I viewed it as a responsibility. I head to the scene, and the truth is, I have a middle management bred paranoia about what it means when a responsibility is taken away. The truth is, I liked to fight against the comedians. So much that I didn't give a thought to what victory would look like. The truth is, I confess to the one with the notebook, I haven't read very much theory. This next piece is, there's a bit of a theme developing here. This next piece is by Robin Schofield. Almost Modern, for Charlotte Mew, 1969 through 1928. When someone at the door of one of your singular readings asked, "Are you Charlotte Mew?" you replied, "I am afraid that I am." You who stood on Asylum Row, not overcome with grief for both your brother and your sister, the beauty schizophrenics, were able to write it down. Devoted to each other, you and Anne, your other sister, wanted nothing to do with offspring. You felt you must change the pronoun whenever you loved someone, because your love was disapproved before you even began to know what it was. One of your so-called friends wrote, Charlotte is a pervert. Typical Victorian. You looked past that hurt and honed your craft with crazy, long, uneven lines, slant rhyme at the ends. Your travels to France ended in heartbreak for you. Upended wits for cet obscur objet de désir, for your alarming affections roused no more than ire. You died, foaming at the mouth. A bottle of Lysol, all you could afford for your final act. Such a loss that you burned your last poems, torched with grief for Anne, who died at home of cancer. We can't know how powerful they were now that they are gone, but you are not, for you live in words. The farmer's bride again, fey creature, the world of men. Now, this last piece, I'm going to be a little weird here. This last piece is not a cover poem. I wrote it, but it is a review in poetic form of my friend's book, Norm Maddox. This is the book, his new book, Evaporating Rage, available from, oh yes, Black Lawrence Press and also on Amazon, if you have to. And he asked me to write a review and I wrote a poem instead. So now I have to read it a lot of places to make up for it. Evaporating Review on Evaporating Rage by Norm Maddox. I am not a Black man in America. I am not a Black father and teacher in America, heart split, pieces following each birth child and school child in America down their treacherous paths. I am not a cancer soldier. I don't say survivor. I don't even say warrior because that implies more glory and less pain than I mean. I am not a Black man anywhere. And so I cannot tell you the heart of this man as he put ink to page, pixels, and equations, making dreams and whispered thoughts into poetry, the melodies of the speaker and the listener harmonizing. I cannot know his deeper heart, and yet I know what pain feels like, the sneer of a stranger, and the bone-bound fear and frantic energy when facing a predator, blood on its teeth. I have tasted the rage that comes from betrayal. I am not a math teacher in America where we mock math teachers and worship the cash grabbers in their glass grid castles. Teach a man to fish, and he will tell everyone that he invented fishing. Teach a colonizer to fish, and they will grab you by the throat, bash you on a mooring cleat, and cast you in, blood swirling and seeping as they run to buy up the ocean. Is that the old saying? Are we too angry? Is it overwhelming how we bubble and seethe? Can we effervesce to the skies in too violent a fashion? When you apply heat to our lovely liquid flowing lives, can you complain when we rise up? Teach a child to fish, and they will surpass you, joyfully flying, your voice their balloon, air and energy and nothing burning up or down. We can grow grain from ashes, but isn't it better to not be scorched in the first place? Breathe, says the sensei. Breathe, says the maestro. Breathe in your worrisome, painful unmakings and make them analogies, rhymes, grindstones, tools to unwind all their hateful depravities and remember that nothing is created, no law of the universe, and nothing destroyed. Addition, subtraction, mirages, and grief. Now he's teaching us to breathe. Breathe in the miasma of memory and wisdom, the steam of our tortured, magnificent lives, and of ourselves, soaking the sands with awareness and returning moon drawn to the endless sea before we crash into being once more. That's Evaporating Rage by Norm Maddox. Thank you.
A review in poem form. Why not? They come in all kinds of forms these days. Thank you very much, Dale. Is there anything on the horizon we should know about?
Not right now, thanks.
Right. All right, thanks again. And yes, I believe it's still on YouTube, but last year there was a tribute to Norm Maddox, and Dale was kind enough to let me MC it. It was a very great event, star-studded to a certain way of thinking. And so yeah, you can look for that on YouTube when you're done watching this. Watch this till it finishes. And like we have telemetrics and things like that. But we're going to Las Vegas, New Mexico for our next reader. He is got a very deliberate style. He's got a very unique style to him that I really enjoy. I really enjoy hearing him read his works and how much he's clearly thought about how these are going to sound, if that makes any sense to you as a term. But we're going to welcome up to the stage next, Zach Frater. Zach, when you're ready.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I hung up a Laird Hamilton poster, you know, big wave surfer. You always told me I couldn't have it. Just like that Jack Kerouac poster. It was vintage, expensive. Guess what? It's in the living room right now. Well, I miss you. Think about you. My partner, wife, mix our ashes years from now. Wait for me. Someday we all die. Spread at Lost Lake, Colorado, high in mountains that we climbed. Phone call. The girls? Yeah, they're fine. Daughters? Yeah, they ask about you. I love you. Hard to breathe. Confession. I stay up late. 3 a.m. You know, I've been trying to make art. I'm serious. Like VHS tape, rewind time, tape stuck, replayed, pull it out. Like that ribbon, it's worn out, tired. Holy matrimony. Maybe it could be fixed. But I don't think a sorry has enough stickiness to put it together. Hey, I'm sorry. Want redo, want you, want my hands on your body. Miss you, hold me, roll over beneath covers, skin to skin. I hold you. Now it's phone calls. You're outside. Been weeks since I saw you. You look great. Daughter's wave, dining room window. You were wearing an old hoodie, one I gave you. You look cute, oversized fit. I'm sorry, I reorganized closet. My things on your side. I can move them when you come home. Mother-in-law, your mom, well, she helped a few times, finger in face, telling me it's my fault, like I didn't try. You married her, she said. I reply, that's my wife. Finger pushed down. Might have made a mistake. Said, not in my house. I apologized. She said, how dare you? Hey, it was a moment in time. I was heartbroken. Heal. I'm better now. Daughters, I'm better now. I promise, better now. Mother-in-law, not here. Hello? Yeah, this is Zach. Who is this? My shadow? I don't know. We can talk. I know. Shadow, we have met. You want to what? Replay everything? Every event that I regret? I don't know, dude. I'm not good. Having a bad time. It might be a long night. But at least I try. Mr. Shadow, are you there? I try. Pull out the tape, VHS player from garage. I'm tired. I guess we can talk. You could talk to me. Talk. Shadow, we could. I know we can't be friends.
All right. And with the closest thing to a mic drop you can get with this technology, that was Zach Frater. There. Wow. Very interesting take on the shadow. That's something we've all taken various different places. And so we're going to keep flying across the country. Next, we're headed over to the Palmetto States, where a rather new performer is here. Excuse me. And so we're going to welcome back to the stage, reading some poetry, Swagtastical. Swag, when you're ready. There you are.
South Kakalackin, baby. Thanks, Kit. Cat bar. I do have a poem that I'm going to share in honor of Thanksgiving. So if you guys could just bear with me while I get that up real second. All right. So yeah, this poem that I'm going to read, it's entitled "Thanksgiving to Me." It's actually a poem that I did last year, and I figured it'd be appropriate for me to do it again this year. So here we go. This is called "Thanksgiving to Me." What is Thanksgiving to me? Well, in life, you'll hear people tell you to count your blessings. I count mine, and it goes a little something like 1, 2, thank you, Lord, for all you do. 3, 4, your presence comforts me even more. But for real, what is Thanksgiving to me? Is it a nourishment for the soul that I'm the captain of? Or if I master this, do I take it for granted like the turkey that folks overseas wish they had? God forbid. It's when the words thank you sail from my mouth to the destination of individuality, reality looking out at me from the front of my windshield, hoping I don't stop at another red light, because that's the color that adds flavor to what tastes best, which is gratitude. That sweetness of knowing just how grateful I am for my family, whom I love more than pumpkin pie. Then, once I'm through with that dessert, I end up putting my dish in the sink so I can wash out those who are ungrateful. Think about those who are less fortunate, the homeless, the impoverished, and the hungry. So, when you ask me what Thanksgiving is to me, I'll just say it's more than a tradition. It's more than a decision. It's about the recognition of the blessings that I've been given. I'm no mathematician, but Thanksgiving doesn't mean division, but I need your full attention so I can lay out my definition. It's the condition of precision where my mind is put in position to be wishing for a vision that is brought to fruition, a vision where student loan debt can finally be forgiven and college folks with submissions can earn free tuition. It involves no politician. It's far from being a religion. It's not about me in the kitchen trying to get a good nutrition. It's all about the rendition of thanking God for the ambition to accomplish the mission with Him as your supervision. In addition, our hearts are about as broken as the system where people of opposition have admission to this prison, the prison of competition where everyone thinks they're winning when there are people who are starving in other countries like Great Britain. Instead of us pretending like all of this is fiction, we need to know the facts, not just go off our opinions. I hope I gave a description of my Thanksgiving benediction, and that's coming from this guy who is grateful to be a Christian. Thank you.
Thank you, Swag. Is there anything that you want to plug here? I know you got your YouTube channel and everything.
Links and socials will be in the chat, so be on the lookout.
All right, and we'll put that to the YouTube chat as well. Well, thanks very much. Glad to see you again. First of all, here we go. Okay, Great Britain, not the go-to reference for a starving country, but Brexit really did screw things up over there. That's true. But we're going to switch things up a bit because it's all been poetry so far, but we do also have a stable of musicians that we love to hear from every time they're available. And our next musician is truly living the itinerant musician lifestyle in a different town every time she checks in with us, in a different Airbnb every time. It's truly wonderful to see the life she lives. I'm glad that social media lets us get little snippets here and there, and we're glad she gets to check in. So please welcome Sue Schnitzer to the stage. Sue, when you're ready.
I'm actually staying in one place for 4 weeks. So this, I'm going to play this song. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to find stuff by other people, but I wrote this song. I started it Saturday night. It's about Thanksgiving and a couple of other things. Late November, I remember the drive to my aunt and uncle's house, playing in their yard, warmth of the kitchen, and the sound of football games. So many of us in that big old house, too much food, we always brought some home. Cool New England wind pushed the car as we drove back home in the dark. We'd get back home and see Christmas lights our neighbors put up while we were gone. I could see bright trees in their houses, but not in ours. I hear Christmas songs playing in stores. I see Santa and reindeer on people's lawns. Everywhere I go, I can't escape it. It's the holidays, family, thanks, and cheer. Time of year. One of the lessons I learned as a kid is it's tough to be something different, to be the one who's not the same, to be the kid who tries to fit in. Now I know more about the Thanksgiving story, how maybe it was more greed than glory. And I'm not saying I don't give thanks. I treasure every minute we had back then. And I hear Christmas songs playing in stores. I see Santa and reindeer on people's lawns. Everywhere I go, I can't escape it. It's the holidays, family, thanks, and cheer. Cheery time of year. It seems the Christmas thing starts earlier every year, and that people, some of them seem more aware that not everyone celebrates the same holidays or the same way, and that's okay. I've gotten used to Christmas songs playing in stores and Santa and reindeer on people's lawns. Everywhere I go, I can't escape it. It's the holidays, family, thanks, and cheer. Cheery time of year. Cheery time of year. I would tell you the name of that song, but I haven't named it anything other than Thanksgiving song at this point. So I thought I'd do a cover song from the 60s that I remember when it came out. Oh boy, that dated me. Made popular by a group called the Youngbloods, written by a guy named Chet Powers. Might need my glasses for this one. And hopefully you'll sing along. Unmuted, of course, on the chorus. make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come, some may go, we shall surely pass. When the one that left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. I said, come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. I said, come on, people now, smile on your brother. Everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. That just seemed like an appropriate song for the occasion.
I think you nailed it. I think you did great. Thank you very much, Sue.
Thank you.
Where can people find more of you on the internet if that's what they want to do?
I'm on YouTube. It's youtube.com/music by Sue. I'll put the link in there. And then I'm on Substack. I think it's schnitziedoodles.substack.com. I'll throw those in the chat. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Sue. Okay. It's a great Youngblood song. They were kind of like a two-hit wonder kind of. You know, you don't really get one-hit wonders anymore. Everyone just sticks around forever. It's the perils of the streaming age. But speaking of sticking around forever, we are never going away. We are never stopping this. But we do have to pause real briefly, say hi to the chat, where one of our favorites, Laura Lynette, sending some love in the chat and gets that love back with interest. Sandy, another longtime regular and sometime participant there in the chat too, say hi. Kimberly Dominguez, welcome. Bienvenidos. Hope you stick around. And Anahi Torres, welcome. Hope you like what you're seeing. And if any of you out there are El Paso Community College students, you are in the right place for the Tejano Passport, if that's what you're doing. And at a certain point later in the night, I'll have Richie Marrufo explain what all that means. But we instructions to follow, yes. But we are going to continue on now. This person joined us for the first time last week. It was a very great debut for him, and we're really happy to see him here again, because something I always like to say, the only thing better than a first-time reader is a second-time reader. So if everyone could welcome Soren to the mic, please. Soren, when you're ready.
Hello, thank you, Kit. So today I will be reading from Val, hope I'm saying that name right. And her poem is A History of Languages. Once our awareness of the world was written, storybook shine and fantastical, elaborate calligraphy, now click-clack, tapping out our artistry and wishes. We smear intricacies, compress meaning. Heel to toe, we step our way empty, it seems, losing the bric-a-brac from our voices, our rejoicing. But oh, long before the first drops of ink met skin or paper, our languages lived in the world itself, spread out through its fractal capillaries, a lacework circulation of understanding. Did you know in the oldest tongues they use sounds we discarded? They say we foolish children draw paths of toneless explanations and exclamations and flourishes along our way into the stark electric future, as though we spit out sparks and they spread everywhere. What a strange evolution from the convolutions we enjoyed. Dental, fricative, elemental, and bone deep, the percussion of everything around us, the great heartbeat, the great breath. Sucked down now and spat back as flat, laconic apathy. Do you think it was easier for them to speak with the birds, thunderclouds, the great stalking stars? You hear silence, or only the faintest meaning. What have we relinquished to the grasping page? What deep matters have we cast aside our greed, our unheeding penmanship? When Eve first called all the animals, could she still pronounce the names they tell us in our dreams? That is by Val Larkin again, and it's called A History of Languages. Very new, at least that's what she told me. And the next poem that I'll be reading will be from Ed Potastic, which is called The Bullets of War. I have a bullet with your name. My heart yearns for your demise. You're to blame for my flame. I'm going to kill you down to size. Why do I murderously hate you? It's because you're my enemy. It's foggy hate, no clear views. My dark page has no sympathy. I slowly reload my steel gun, my fingers covered in angry beads. My shuttle covers the sun. Run, run, run away, please. There goes one of your eyes. You loudly play. Why? You fall, but your blood rises. You kept going. I whimpered with a sigh. There goes one of your arms. You're my prey, but please go far away. You disarm, but I still mean you harm. What can I say that went underway? There goes one of your legs. The pain must be unbearable. It sounds like a cracked eggs. What is next is inconceivable. There goes your head. I forgot what you said. Oh, right. I hope you eat lead. The cold grounds your bed. The roses oozed and spread. There goes one of your hands. You were just a man. I feel you, but I try not to understand that your name is buried in dirt and sand. An image of a crying phantom, a body icy as steel. You can't find an inner sanctum. There no peace for your ordeals without rest or heal. I hear your cries in my head. I wish it was me instead of you. I loudly dread the future up ahead. What can I do or hope to do? There are no winners in wars. More losses and no gains. There is no restorations or scores. Please, no more pain or lifeless remains. Do I really need to explain? That is by Ed Potastic, and it's called The Bullets of War. I very much like that poem. And for my last one, I thought I'd share one of mine. It's called Dreaming at Noon. I'm falling asleep more than I know I should. Even with a fresh peppermint in my mouth, my eyes can help but shut close. From my window, the little sun that enters is as bright as a summer day. And with each new second, it won't seem from hitting me right in the face. When I open the door, the view is as pleasing as rain, nothing but blue and white fluff in the skies. People are desperate to go outside and breathe air spring. Everything that comes alive is another curious soul hoping to explore the unknown. While sitting down in the cement, I noticed the excruciating heat on my skin in just one minuscule second, and the gentle but playful breeze managing to touch my back for a drilling chill. The view of new beginnings, blooming and small weeds reflect upon thy very eyes. I can hear the bird's sweet and obnoxious chirps, dogs' ears twitching and alert to a stranger's walk. Even the hearts of thousands can be heard. I lay down at my side, looking on the wondrous view. And my heart keeps aching to walk along those familiar but unfamiliar streets by foot. How it yearns to explore every turn and caution barks of protectors from each home. I keep laying there, waiting to be called upon, to be given permission to fly away into the soft, milky blue of the sky. Wait for someone to allow me an opportunity to know my roots and lineage. Wait for someone to shout that it's okay for me to stray so far from home. For someone's hand to reach mine and say, "Wanna go for a walk?" That day may never come. But I keep waiting each and every day for someone or something to tell me it's okay. Because although the fence gates have no lock to keep them closed, I still wait for someone to tell me it's okay to walk away from the comfort zone. It's time to stop dreaming at noon. And that's my poem called Dreaming at Noon. Hope everyone enjoys. And you can find me at Soaring Blues at oldpoetry.com. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Soren. Glad to see you again. Thank you for your reading. And now, forgot to mention his location. Soren is out in San Elizario, Texas, just a little bit to our east, but we are going way to our west for our next reader. We're going to Petaling Jaya, Malaysia. And that is where Julian Matthews is. I believe last week you said that was your 73rd time with us. So here comes 74. Don't have a snappy phrase for that like I do for second, but we're glad to have you. Share screen's turned on for you. You may go when ready.
Hi. This is a poem by Cecil Rajendra. He's a much lauded poet in Malaysia. The poem is called My Message, and it's from his book Hour of Assassins, 1983. And now you ask, what is my message? I say with noble cough, I'm a poet, not a postman. I have no message. But I want the cadences of my verse to crack the carapace of indifference, pry open torpid eyelids, thick-coated with silver. I want syllables that will dance pirouette in the fantasies of nymphets. I want vowels that float into the dreams of old men. I want my consonants to project kaleidoscopic visions on the screens of the blind and on the eardrums of the deaf. I want pentameters that sing like 10,000 mandolins. I want such rhythms as will shake pine, angsana, oak, and meranti out of their pacific slumber, uproot themselves, hurdle over buzzsaw and bulldozer, and rush to crush with long heavy toes merchants of defoliants. I want stanzas that put a Sten gun in the paw of a polar bear and tiger, a harpoon under the fin of every seal, whale and dolphin, arm them to stem the massacre of their number. I want every punctuation, full stop, comma, and semicolon to turn into a grain of barley, millet, maize, wheat, or rice in the mouths of our hungry. I want each and every metaphor to metamorphose into a rooftop over the heads of our homeless. I want the assonances of my songs to put smiles on the faces of the sick, the destitute, and the lonely, pump adrenaline into the veins of every farmer and worker, the battle-scarred and the weary. And yes, I want my poems to leap out from the page, rip off the covers of my books, and march forthrightly to the sea of somnolent humanity, lay bare the verbs, vowels, syllables, consonants, and say, these are my sores, my wounds. This is my distended belly. Here I went ragged and hungry. In that place I bled, was tortured, and on this electric cross I died. Brothers, sisters, here I am. That was my message by Cecil Rajendra. Got two poems by myself, one short and the other longer. This is called Rectangle Dreamer. Rectangle Dreamer. Tonight, as every night, I am closed, cool as any sedentary fool, emptied of splashing arms and legs, no screechy fry to agitate the chlorine and sear my one watery eye, always so glad. When left alone, I can be still, reflect the moon, and swoon to the meditative rotation of my friend, Mr. Night Sky, stippled with stars, just a rectangular guy, pondering my onerous fate as human playmate instead of shimmering poet. And the second one is called Prick. Here it is, your crown of thorns, but maybe you're unworthy. You haven't confessed enough or attended enough masses or even said grace before meals. You listened to sermons with disgust. You chewed the bread and were quick to swallow, said amen, but it rang hollow. You'd sell out for your forked tongue to turn into silver, a piece of me for a few slivers of notoriety. Perhaps you only deserve a single thorn, like that one splintered line that keeps you awake at night, a mozzie that buzzes in your ears but eludes your unpierced hands. You're merely a word swatter, a verse spitter, a stanza cross-stitcher, hoping something, anything will stick on that crying wall, prick the pious, pierce the lies, poke the fires. You curse the dark, even when shown the light. But grace isn't a light switch. You can't switch it on and off. It only finds you when you're when you've stopped looking. It filters gently inside when you're done searching. It sneaks up on you when you're all worn out. Here are the missing parts of your soul. Here is hope. Here is the sublime. Can it fill the fissure in your heart? Maybe not. You don't deserve that to let it all fall out, just like the pew dust you slap off your clothed knees. And at the final genuflection, you bend your one good knee, turn your back on the altar and the echoing choir, emptily mouthing the last hymn, depart from haloed grounds and catch a glimpse of yourself mirrored in the awkward smiles of all the other early leavers, each carrying their own single thorn. Never enough for a collective bed of restful sleep. Never enough to weave a crown for an awakening. Never enough for even a stalk of rose. Never enough. End poem. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. And where can people find more of you on the internet?
I'll just put a link in the chat. Thank you.
All right. All right. We appreciate it, Julian. Thank you for waking up with us 74 times now. So we're going to go back to the States, back to the East Coast, back to New England for our next performer, who he's a very good poet, and he runs his own space a lot like this, with a I believe a public access television show, as well as live events and a Zoom meeting like this. And I remember he approached me cold based on one of our videos to do a feature for him. That was a really special thing to happen to me. And so I'm glad he's here. I'm glad we get to repay the favor a little bit and introduce all of you to Jeff Taylor. Jeff, when you're ready.
Thank you, Kit. Yeah, to be fair, I listened to like several of your videos for like every day for a couple weeks in a row, and I was like, I just have to ask this poet to come and feature at what was the open mic, the online open mic Garage Poets at the time, just because I was listening to you so much. I had to come hear a whole feature of your work. But and tonight was Controversy open mic, which is the in-person open mic I do in Malden, and along with Anna Jeffrey and a few other poets. Yeah, so that was tonight, and I do mostly the sound. I do some of the hosting. Anna does most of the hosting, but yeah, I love the idea of reading other people's poems. So I have a few lined up, and I'll take us. I'm on the East Coast, but this poet is from the West Coast, so I'll take us across to the West Coast to read William Taylor Jr. poem from his book Above a Convenience Store, which is available through Roadside Press. This poem is called And Who Among Us? We sing our broken songs, all of us here abandoned in the trash heap of the 21st century, adrift in the algorithms, God's lonely fire in our veins, caught like flies between the last playoff game and the next celebrity death. The cardboard reality of each tired afternoon, a secret we're too afraid to tell. We toss the days aside like unwelcome gifts, imagining we are hungry for something other than what we've known. And what is left alive in this city but the ghosts? What music, what poetry, what unnamed things to call our own? What blood is left in the sun? And who among us remembers how to burn? That was William Taylor Jr. in Who Among Us. This next poem is called Planet X in the 3-Day Eclipse. It's by Tom Bakalis from his book The Ants Crawl in Circles. The kind of green screen does a thing there, but you kind of can see it. And that's Bone Machine Ink is the press. He insisted on telling me about the ending of the world and the impending suffering that everyone but he and I would face. He spoke at great length about how Planet X would block out the sun, creating a 3-day eclipse that would destroy all technology and kill all planet life. When he finished talking, I told him I was all right with the way things were going to play out, and I asked him how he came into possession of such knowledge. He smiled and said it was written in the stars and that nothing more could be discussed. I stood up and extended my hand to thank him for his time, but he pulled away, explaining that his body was full of poison, which is why he hadn't eaten in 4 days, and cut all the electricity in his apartment and smeared shit all over his bedroom walls. I said I understood and left him alone in the room. When I got back to my desk, I filled out a 9-page document initiating the commitment process and revoking his right to any voluntary treatment. That night when I got home, I stared at the stars for a while, wondering if he was right and I was wrong. That was by Tom Bakalos, Planet X and the 3-day eclipse. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for the introduction to those two writers. Is there anything you'd like to plug in this space?
If you go to YouTube, you can see some of the controversy open mics that we do live here in Malden, and I'll be uploading a few more, but there's a few episodes up there right now. So go to the YouTube and check out Controversy Open Mic, and you can see some of the open mics.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Glad you can make it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And let's see. And our next performer, gonna stay in the northeast part of the continent, but a little spoiler because I said continent, not country, didn't I? So we come from across the country, continent, and world on Monday nights. And our next performer is out in Ontario, Canada, and is going to. They've been sort of the class of the last year, I suppose you could say. They first joined us in December of the last year, and they've been a mainstay since. They bring a very, very composed performing style, and they get their own work is very good, and they're a constant reader, and they constantly bring interesting covers in too. So please welcome Cassie to the stage. Cassie, when you're ready.
Thanks, Kit. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. All right. So I've got a Kit Wren poem here. It is untitled. Okay. Concreteness, as it is commonly used in this field, is an abstraction. It makes no distinction between carpet or tile, between yellow or green grass. These details are to be used, says the professor, to create a real feeling in the reader, whatever that means. This authenticity is the goal, even though every tool in our toolbox is fictive. Reader, too, is fictive. His crying produces neither sound nor lacrimony. Her laughter stops with her and does not ripple through her neighbors. We imagine them as strangers that we will compel by sheer magnetism to become friends. In the pursuit of these new friends, plans with old friends are rescheduled. As we catalog the verdant fields of our love and we walk through, the lawn grows sick and undisciplined, our love disorderly. And so poetry is feared rather than consumed. The passers-by salute it like a flag, but do not pay taxes. It is invoked like magic or violence in place of itself. As a threat or a vague and vast gesture of praise. And the poet? Well, I have no place. These people treat me well, but when they discover I am a man who cannot and would not grant wishes, I fear they will feel lied to. And that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you.
That's okay. Well, thank you, Cassie. That's a good reading. And yes, and I saw you mention on your Instagram that you have a new set of workshops you're going to work on in the new year.
Oh yeah, yeah. The reason I didn't plug it yet is I don't have all the dates nailed down yet, but I guess I'll just briefly say, so I occasionally facilitate online generative poetry workshops on Zoom, and there's one that I'm working on that is called tentatively, well, was tentatively titled like this, titled Figuring It Out. The theme of this workshop, it'll be a series once a week, probably for 4 weeks, where we'll get together and explore poetry as a vehicle for processing things. And by that I mean a lot of poets, I find, myself included, use poetry in order to process difficult things or just things they're grappling with or trying to figure out. So whether it be like experiences or like how to feel about something where they land on a subject. So we're gonna explore all of that in that workshop. And if you are curious about it, you can follow me on Instagram at Relentless Intrigue. And there'll be a sign up form with more details and the dates and everything and the pricing and all that. It will go up shortly. Okay, thanks, Kit.
Okay, that's at Instagram at Relentless Intrigue. Figure it out. I hope to figure it out alongside you. Speaking of generative workshops, I might as well get my plug in where I can. I run a little concern called the Tumble Words Project, and we are a generative writing workshop that meets not this Saturday, but most Saturdays from 1 to 3 in the afternoon, just to get together, write to a prompt, read it right there, see how it sounds. We get you the cookie dough. It's up to you to make cookies with it on your own time, but who doesn't like a little taste of dough now? The health board says you'll get listeria, but we're going to get every disease in the next 4 years, so you might as well eat the cookie dough too. Jesus. But I'm sorry, I blew myself way off course. I need to get, but for our next performer, I've had to change my approach because sometimes when I introduce him, I come off as gauche. It's hard to do what he does on command, on the spot. He makes it look simple, but really, it's a lot. So when I tried his style as an improv, I would often stumble, and he deserves better. Nobody's intro should be mumbled. So for this week, at least, I've changed my stance, and I've written a few fitting remarks in advance. I think the effect will be truly fantastic. And nothing less will do for Ed Poetastic. Ed, are you ready, bud?
I'm ready, my bro, like no other, words like thunder. And always remember, you never ever mumble and you never ever tumble because you're always ready to rumble. Hello, my name is Ed Potastic. Fantastic. Please time to join my rhyme file for Sublime. I got 13 jokes and I got 3 poems, so I won't take too much time. The first joke is, why do pilgrims' pants always fall down? Because they wear their buckles on their hats. What is a turkey's favorite dessert? Peach gobbler. Did you hear the one about the rude turkey? It was jerky. What did Dad say when he was asked to say grace? Grace? Where did the pilgrims stand after landing on Plymouth Rock? On their feet. What do you call rain on Turkey Day? Foul weather. Why did the policeman stop you on your way home last Thanksgiving? Because you far exceeded your feed limit. Why was the turkey asked to join a band? he could bring his own drumsticks. When are turkeys the most grateful? The day after Thanksgiving. Why didn't the pilgrim want to make the bread? It's a crummy job. How do little pumpkins cross the road? With a crossing gourd. Last but not least, was something usually insulting, but not on Thanksgiving? A family member giving you the bird. Yes. All right. I got my poem from our wonderful Robin Scarfield. This is called Grammar Borealis Flow from the Black Range. The hawk is well versed in so many tenses, including the perfect. Golden wings convex against the sky will have made a fringe of onyx as he utters above the mountains and fences. His speeches to the whirlwind in sentences, the sunburst winds up in cloudy syntax. Then the shadow disinclined into the vortex, so the wind itself has to make inferences. I hike, I dip my feet into the Gila, blank-breasted hawk, no pronoun betrays you, on your thermal verb conjugated in blue. Body under black pines, hot springs heal all, aching adverbs, and algae spells rusted colors. As wind still parse the passive voice of stars. Thank you, Miss Robin. And the apple doesn't fall from the tree. Here's our wonderful Kit Wren's poem. This is called For Sale. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. Nobody's dead. I was just drunk on eBay again. And I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. Also wanted to sell complete DVD set of Kochek's Night Stalker. Same kind of deal. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. I got lost in the store. These are obviously too small. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just panicked. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. This gift was not funny, Greg. This is the last straw. My entire life, people have been made fun of me for my incredibly small feet. I remember very clearly the first such instance when a fourth grade PE teacher said, I look like a hippopotamus trying to balance itself on two toothpicks. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. What do you mean? Why did I write never worn on the tag? Because I had space. Are you going to buy them or not? This is what you do? Just go to garage sales and call people liars? And they're just supposed to put up with it? Oh, yeah. Well, maybe your wife, maybe your lady protesting too much. Trash dick. For sale, baby shoes, never worn. Welcome to the new baby shoe store. Our founder, Thermal Buckhart III, started in Tacoma, Washington, with a $7,000 loan, a property that used to be a circuit city, a dream that people could find guaranteed, never worn shoes for the babies and infants at a reasonable price. For sale, Meta short story collection, Too Niche. Thank you, kids. And last but not least, this is from our wonderful, stupendous, magnificent Richie. This is called Smoke Signals Serenades. The sounds of unbroken heart slide loudly to a funky love ballads from that which can save us. We got shades beyond syllables, a weight beyond words. It's a quantum dance that whispers, just hold it close, because patience is a virtue, but time is just a dirty game, nefarious and flirtatious. I've seen a face, but really need a name. Go on, haunt me. leaving cameos in my dreams just to taunt me as we unravel at the seams. That's two E's, not EA, as in moonbeams or sea waves. It's amazing. Pick your poison and let it play into sunrise surprises. Smoke signal serenades and ticking time bomb grenades. It's the inertia of the imagery that unsettles in the mind. Methodical and meticulous. And generally slow like. It's going with the flow of the unknown, just like lightning strikes. It's a star in a jar, created by spoken word. And if you haven't heard, gravity's a mistake. When you're faced first on the pavement, like starry eyed kids with waxed wings who dream of flight off the pavement, hey kid, they'll tell you it's that way or that way. Well, move beyond the black and white, chase grays, and seek out the bitter days. Postmodern Prometheans will set the world ablaze, and when the dust has fallen, and we're crawling through the ashes, this is where you'll find your muse, your music. Now, use it. Thank you.
All right. Oh, wonderful job. It's good to hear my words with your style. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, my bro, like no other. It's been an honor.
Likewise. So where can the people find more of that? That's what they're inclined to do.
They're kind of due because I had to thank people just like you. But thank you for pushing on through. Remember that we love you and Richie too. And if you want to follow me, please support this wonderful open mic that makes our Monday night so delight in this wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman92. And remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to share my fantastic insight. If you send me a quest, you take a guess. The answer is yes. All right. Hope everyone stays safe. Never stop. Help everyone remember that they're loved. Stay safe and never stop spewing one words inside your chest. Never stop feeling your best and never ever stop doing. Never stop your best. But I'm sorry. But remember that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your flow. Never ever stop your glow. If you don't know, now you know. Oh, I love this show and happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving, Ed. Hope you fry up that bird real good.
I sure will.
Hell yeah. So we're bringing it back to the home base for our last two performers. And another person you've heard name dropped throughout the whole night. Usually he's the one hosting. But we managed to give him a little bit of a respite, managed to get him to hide in the shadows, which he likes to do from time to time. But we're gonna bring him on and have him serve up in the potluck. So please welcome to the stage, Richie Marrufo.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? What's up, YouTube? What's up, beautiful Zoom world? It's nice being on the other side of this thing. Anyway, I forgot my rhyming dictionary, so I'm just gonna freestyle out of some Frantz Fanon. Just kidding. I've got a couple pieces from friends here, and I found this anthology here called New Border Voices, where of course we have two poems, Robin Schofield in there. So I'm gonna read one of them. Robin's been read a lot tonight. That's pretty cool. It's a badge of an honor in its own right. This one's called Desert Nectar on Scenic Drive by Robin Schofield. Stinky bush, the Spaniards called it. Wrong about that, as its sharp perfume enraptures the butterflies, little blues, plus and minus on the color wheel. Gray branches hawk yellow flowers, later to lean over with furry seeds the wind takes to the red slopes. Like a stray electron, the scent grabs you. A road snakes around yucca and desert willow, their trumpets peaking. At the point, for a quarter, the caps come off the telescopes. City lights, the Mexican flag, planets, and sunset clouds. Same view any bird gets for free day and night, migrant or not. Yeah, so I pulled out a like old school, like, yeah, you got to find this one because I have for books too. I could have read one of those, but next up, I'm gonna put us another classic out. This is from Barrio Panther Volume 3, and here's one I haven't heard Kit read in a while. So it's The Zirical Rejects the World at Large. Shout out to Barrio Panther, Carlos Fidel Espinosa, publisher. I have a confession disguised as a question. Has the desert spoiled all other outdoor settings for you too? Do forests seem to you a claustrophobic compromise between the indoors and the outdoors, unsatisfying as most compromises are? How can this be outside if I can't see the entire sky? Does the ocean seem showy and excessive, gaudy, like plastic jewelry on an otherwise fine hand? To have all that undrinkable water feels like someone made a mistake, but didn't care enough to correct it. We are dry land, but what we find is potable. Did the hill country underwhelm you too? Were you tempted to laugh at all the hill people who went around instead of over and through? They would think us mad, but I'll never make the mistake of caring what they think again. Does every green field, no matter how wild, take on the manicured unreality of a golf course? I am tired, friend, of this world of driving ranges. You and I will spread our picnic blanket in the sand trap and throw back every Titleist that blunders in. All right. And lastly, here's the surprise. This is the newest edition of Chrysalis, our school's literary magazine. So for all of you EPCC students tuning in right now, you can submit your own writing. If you have poetry, if you do prose, if you're a photographer, if you're a visual artist who paints, you can submit your work. They are taking submissions for the next issue all the way up to the end of the year, December 31st. As you can see, the final work is a book like this, and there's a very fun release where contributors get to get a free copy and share their work. And this most recent one was a whole lot of fun. So who am I going to pick from this? Well, I could pick a lot of people, but those of you who know BWOMS know Fernando Antonio Montejano. So he has some pieces published in here. This piece is called New Enough. Let me tell you how the sun found me today. With all the world set behind me and every bad thought caught in the rearview mirror and getting smaller as the miles roll on and they keep rolling. And I keep thinking my body might need more, so I spread my arms as I walk, and the way I soar under sun, steady and serene as a siren song, and my daydreams are distant futures in my view. Let me tell you how I let things that make up my shadow eat me alive. And now I'm lighter than I could have been in the dark, more radiant in my being, and gifted with the passion of this day. Let me tell you how I'm only light today, and you'll want to be some too. You'll want to let go of all those shadows still tethering you here, and you'll burn that darkness in the sun, and we will tell the same story over and over until every one of us is spilling at the edges with the light of what's to come, and what's past will feed us until we have devoured the old and become new enough to become new again. Damn, so Fernando usually like yells that one out loud, but I don't want to disturb people like near me, it's late. I don't want to. Why is that guy yelling in there? So thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, if you're an EPCC student, the Tejano passport stuff, I left it in the live chat. Go hit that up. Otherwise, find me at Instagram, Dead Wall Reveries. Kit, you're doing an amazing job. Back to you. Appreciate it.
To me. All right. Thank you, Richie. Thank you for everything you do for the whole city and for me in particular, because I come first, but like everyone else benefits too. Car alarm went off on my street. Nothing to do with me. Hope you didn't hear that. But we're coming to the end of the night, and if you've been with us for a while, you know there's only one way to end a stay-at-home open mic. We're gonna make a call to the bullpen and put in the old right-hander and call Dan the Man to the stage. So Dan, when you're ready.
Okay. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Yep. We're about Thanksgiving away, and since it's potluck, and since it's gonna be potluck, and we're about days away till Thanksgiving. Why not share something like okay, I'm gonna share something like Cranberry Sonnet by Nancy Nunn. The waves roll on and goes above soar high. Lone foghorns chanting Cape Cod solitude. The dunes at rest breath the autumn sky. At envelope peaceful beaches once imbued. Bright foliage, foliage adorns the countryside, surrounding sun-dried bogs of cranberries. This summer, the tours, verdant welcome tide. Now the boats, majestic hues of burgundies, synthetic lake spew forth from each bog moat, sorry. Releasing berries for the harvest day, and buoyant crimson carpets lie afloat, and just abeyance being scooped away to conjure one up a sauce with ocean spray and have with turkey for, you guess it, Thanksgiving. Yep, that's the Cranberry Sonnet by Nancy Hess. Okay. All right, guys. I guess that is it. Well, you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Hope to see you right back here next Monday. All right. Y'all be careful now. Okay. All right, Kit. Let's have Richie to call it a night. Oh, it's always a fight, and yet we're still in the light. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Thanks for closing it in your own inimitable style. So, yes, once again, let us be the first to say to you, Happy Thanksgiving. Let's see. And we still have a couple more events this week. Tomorrow we'll be at Mona. That's the last one the comedians are still allowed at. It's a bit of the Wild West show. It gets a little rowdy, gets a little raunchy, and it goes a little late. So come downtown tomorrow, have some fun. And then on Friday, that's the Speakeasy with Grizz. Grizz presents, and they're going to introduce a writing workshop into things, a bit like their Write Work project, which was a lot of fun and pretty productive. So come early, come about 7 o'clock for a little prompt, for a little writing session, and then the open mic to follow. If you make some instant gold, you can go ahead and shine it on stage. It does happen. I've seen it happen. But yeah, we're going to kick it back to Richie for the formal goodbye. But thank you all very much for another poetry potluck, and we will see you when we see you.
All right, that's another one in the books of the poetry potluck. Thank you, Kit. Thanks to everyone who read, and thanks to everyone who hung out with us online. It really does mean a lot to us when you guys are commenting and reacting, because again, it's an intangible audience. Anyway, like Kit was saying, hopefully you guys are around this week. If you have a little bit of free time and want to check out something to do in the city, or if you have friends who are always like, "There's nothing to do in El Paso," you correct them. You tell them, "Hey, there's an open mic tonight, Tuesday at Mona Bar, or Friday at 13. I was reading. I was going to say the address. That's crazy. At Craft Rhythm and Brews, which is at 1301 Texas. And it's actually not going to be the speaky this time because we don't have a feature. Instead, the focus is going to be on like community. So again, if you guys don't have a place or family to hang out with for Thanksgiving, like just come hang out with us. You will write a little bit and share what you wrote. But other than that, we will see you guys next Monday. If you want to join us again, signing up is really easy. You can follow us on all social media, Instagram. Actually, we barely just got on Blue Sky, so that's the move. That's the move to make. So if you're on Blue Sky, check us out. But also, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us. We have a link tree available in all those places that you can find, and in that link tree, you can subscribe via text message or email. And when we put up a new sign-up sheet, that's the first people. The first people to get the sign-up sheet for these online mics are the people who are subscribed to our link tree. Otherwise, you can also subscribe to our YouTube. They also get the link early. But thanks again for everything. I think Kit covered everything else. We will see you guys soon. Have a great week. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Peace, 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 and love.